Soniqs now. They just pull back a little bit. They do not need to be as aggressive as they were at the start and see and look if they can find some BDS players off guard.
At least they have the backup self-destruction and he's going to start the work. Just saw the back of a player down there and there it is. He finds Geo and they pick up Kansan on the swing round as well. That was one on the level and one just below, and suddenly Soniqs has to start to rebuild. It's a fight. A scrappy one just out here, and the run out of Rexen gets caught out by Renshiro. Has a bit more of the control. Grixer, he's tucked, waiting for the inevitable, and the inevitable is close to swinging around the corner, but there is still support and a minute left. BDS do not have to rush. Grixer is the man that has to. There is the fight. It's over the top of the shield. It's over both sides of it. Can Grixer escape without the rest of it? He knows that they're sort of watching all of this. The swing's going to come round. Can he get a bite out the back of it? The grenade and the throw around over the top. It's pretty pitch perfect, but they don't quite know where he slipped to. He's blinded. So are they, but they do find it. Shaiko.
Well done by BDS there. They knew the player was still going to be out there. They held his exit route and knew that they had the opportunity to isolate and take him down. Leaving only up to Gunnar, the man who had the opening kill of the series. And it's Shaiko that shuts him down. That's 1-0 for BDS.
They want to sort of force them into a tricky situation of make a choice. Well, there's the choice made. There's the reveal of the player. They drop down just in time, and Rexen is the one that gets a kill out of it. Bride gets caught out. Geo's just going to have to stay on the floor as low as possible with the support coming out, but it's Alems. Right down the back of the armory site. The sight line that leads all the way towards Africa. The swing gets taken out. Shaiko caught out. Geo is battling and fighting and crawling his way out of some safety. A cold kip, but with 50 seconds, they have time.
So some pressure coming down from that hatch just a little bit earlier, but the rotation had to come through. Leak effect now closed. There is going to be another kill to come through. Geo dies, but Gunnar instantly trades him out. A 3v2, and Renshiro and LMs both low on HP. They need to make something happen. They need to find a kill somewhere and then see if they can lock off any rotations back towards the site.
This is the problem now. 30 seconds, and you can see, as I said, Soniqs, they're more than happy to play this consistently aggressive game. Respond, lean in, and go for these shots that, well, do things like that. Dropped across the bow, the hold of Grixer on the backside of the lockers, leaving just Renshiro in the 3 versus 1. Barely any time to get it together at this point. It's Soniqs' to lock out. We're one apiece.
Decisive factor.
It's not the most common pick.
It's not the most
common pick in the pockets of Bride, but as Shaiko takes the quick zip, there's the fight and the call of the play. They might get the idea that something maybe fast is happening. The smokes, the drive, the drop of the default, and they're inside trying to stick the kit. The protection from the shield is offering enough. The blinds, but he saw the player. Grixer gets Bride and Alems gets Kansan though. The kit is cold. They could not get it locked down on the back end. Soniqs are just the response to slip past the window, but it's Renshiro that's able to finally find one more body. However, with the kit and Narnia and the he slips his way past. He slips his way right to the back end of a Valkyrie. Do they know he's there? Grixer seems uncontested. Out of this moment, they're trying to find that last loose player.
Verticality still there. The pings are coming through as well as the plants being attempted here by Alems. Renshiro, your pressure, your control needs to be up on point, which it is. He finds the kill, and now it's a 1-on-2 post plan. 45 seconds on the clock. A field rush might actually lead to a bit of success.
Well, the first fight is Alems's, so it has. They took their time and found some pace. They slipped their way through into the big, vast seating area that always has the concern of being caught and watched from the opposite end. Without the verticality, it's a bit of a danger, but it's also this, the white swing that might come against them, and it does. EFAC suffers a bit, but he wins it out. Geometrics, he's gone, he's off the board. That's the fight with the castle over the top. Soniqs, they're going for a rebuild, just gets the scrap onto one. Cannot get the connection on the second, but it's more than enough to at least slow this and allow Soniqs to build and drive themselves back into the site. It's a fight, and Rexen is going to take out the swing there. They've regained control of the Middle Eastern stairs.
Need to be more aggressive, and that's exactly what Soniqs is putting up right now. Leak effect finds one, but not the second. Leaves it only up to him. And now it is that 3v1 situation. BDS finds themselves 2 men down. There is going to be sprays coming in from above, but also horizontally on the actual site. The fuser could be recovered, but again, it's going to be that crossfire coming through, finds the kill. And we keep it equal here. On border.
He's hopped up, the gun 6 goes close. In case there was a Banshee just tucked around, I assume. The angle goes against them. Geo's caught out inside office as well. 2 bodies gone, all the pressure onto CC. There goes Fountain as Alems bites round on the back. Gunnar is watching from range though. Can he slip and slink away? He puts the fight onto Renshiro, who wins it out, just leaving Grixer tucked by the chairs, waiting for the first to come from 90. He knows the rest are not going to be far behind. There's the spray on the first fight. He's tucked behind a shield. They are circling. They are pre-firing. They are planting. There's one. There's not two. Back and forth. Whether they know he's in there or not, this is going to be the first engagement. The width, the width, the width, and nothing was rewarded from it.
He's in a good position, though, to find one as Shaiko just walks in. It's a double kill as he just flicks around and finds a Lems. He was fully aware of where these attackers were coming from. And now it's only 2 players left on BDS, BDS and Ranchiro in a 2v5. They will find the first as Raxon gets taken down.
At this point, they're just going to start to pull themselves away. They know there's still so much work left to do, and we saw it there. Gunnar, he's not going to risk the engagement. Tux is being chased. The rotate round to his right. I don't think they truly know. Doesn't matter. Grix is there on the back end. This is that Soniqs gameplay we talked about. They swarm.
Pressure too hard yet. Time's about to be ticking down, and they know that on Soniqs.
They know where he is. There's 3 players I just saw swarming. They want to try and get that cemented on the end. He's going to pull out of his pistol and see if he can go down fighting, and he does go down. 3-3, an even half here. So if it swing around, the pre-fire fight does not quite connect in the way that he wants. The drones roll on through, 45 seconds, and Gunnar finds the second on the back line.
Still a player on the half wall, though, so if Gunnar is not checking his corners properly, he might find himself picked up by the next as he goes for the frost. That's Ranchiro taken down, and that certainly opens up the side almost completely before BDS strikes back.
They at least get one, but BDS is massively injured in the engagement, and 30 seconds, you know they're about to scream through onto sight. There goes the Lems. Gunnar with a triple right on the back line, and BDS, he cannot even get a whiff of a bullet, but he suffers the end of it. Soniqs, for the first time for any of these teams, tie 2 rounds in a row.
Soniqs hope to find an opening kill. He hears a bit of noise there. It's going to be Lems now going a bit aggressive, gave away his position, but he's still going to be able to pick up the kill. Now goes for that drop, of course, playing on the Oryx, has the opportunity to just hop up wherever he wants.
He took a gamble there, and you could see that they weren't quite sure where those bullets came through. There's still a bit of a missed throw, but a heavy hold there onto the site itself. They've been watching that window for forever. Now they've got to see if they can try and watch the plant as they jump in. They go for the spray round, tucked on the corner. It's the first engagement for Shaiko, but he loses a lot. There's Shaiko with one more. Geo, he's pre-firing the angle. There's a flicker of health, but a flicker of time just as much. The 2 versus 1 here. The pop of the Keratos. Oh! It's a knife!
Pretty sure the crowd loves that if the cheeky knife kill comes in from the end.
The ability to adapt as a round goes on. We talked about being a strong suit. The pings on the first player. Grixer wants to go for the swing fight and takes it very easily. Lems caught out, did not know he was on that yellow ping, and that brings us back to an even balance. They drop inside the site. They're trying to get the kit tucked around onto a corner, and Gio's going to see if he can find the plant. Kansan's watching the rotate. I don't think BDS know. They got to try and make a move now and put the pressure on. It's a post-plant situation. Grixer takes the head off of BDS. Shaiko's trying to fight his way in, finds his third. There's a retake attempt over on the top floor. Shaiko's going to see if he can lock out the middle. This is going to be a very loud swing, and that was easy to pick up. Based on that old-fashioned siege timing, Shaiko, he's going to move back into the space. There's one. He's not on for the ace! Oh, I thought he was caught out there for a second. He's going to bite back. You're looking at 20 seconds. He's got to see if he can find the fight, and then the kid itself. They've got the vertical. He does not have much time. Pre-fires the angle, 11 seconds. The hop through, they're on the hatch. He's looking for the fight. He is out of time. And he almost pulled it out. The idea of Border offering itself a lot of this quick-paced potential aggression. Kansan has the route through and is going to offer it, but Gunnar finds a Lems in the meantime on the far end, and Efak, he's sort of watching, waiting for something to happen, but nobody is interested.
Not yet. No one really wanting to take the balcony. Shaiko playing close to the window. I believe he might have just been spotted out. There's a grenade instantly coming through. We'll pick him up. Leak Effect now has to go for a bit of a drop. It's quite risky. Rude gets injured by the player from the ventilation, and now he's on a 1v5 hunt. He's waiting patiently here, not pulling the trigger. He needs to make sure that he's going to be able to find more than one. Finds one, jumps through, hopes to stop this diffuser before it goes down, but the pressure is too huge. And it's Soniqs that get a second round in a row for the second time now, and find themselves up onto map point.
On this map, repeatedly finding these engagements, finding themselves, putting the pressure onto the guns of BDS that just have not connected in the same way. Sure, they're even. but when people are putting in a performance like that, you got to be bigger than even. Kansan, he's trying to find revenge to the fight as Gio's going to see if he can stick the plant. Are they going to try and stop it? There's no response. The C4 does not quite get the catch. Oh, it does! Just the wing of Gio gets clipped. They go down. Alem's on the back end, and it's a 5 versus 1. Rexon, he had his feet up in the break room, but now he's got to put down the T and see if he can try and find all the remaining players. He looks for the first, cannot get the connection. The second is his. And BDS aren't done quite yet, a flawless. Liquefact need all the energy of the EU audience, and Soniqs need to just try and make this land. 30 seconds. They go for the drop, the kit. It's so close towards the hatch, the last roll. They know where Bride's tucked. He's wondering whether he goes for the swing. The pre-fire doesn't quite get a body, but we hear the flashes go, and there's the swing. There's Bride. Opens the lock, but Kansan gets one back. The kit should get planted. The break over the top. Kansan gets a Lems. With a quad kill, he is on par for the ace, and that vertical control has once again come back to haunt BDS on this map. The fight is scrappy, it's not quite fully connected. The castle makes a lot of noise. Kansan, he's going for the ace, and there it is! Kansan with the ace, Soniqs with the first map, and the 1-up heading into the second. Angle was, maybe it was just over the hatch here. He's going to move into it. The yellow pings are continual, and that drone game, it's still so good from Soniqs. It has absolutely been terrorizing BDS on this showdown so far, and it has no habit of stopping. Shaiko, he tries to step into a fight. There's another drone rolling past. They have 8 able to be used. Shaiko does take the top off, and the head of Rexon gets removed. They're all stacked round. It's 20 seconds, and the drop is coming into the pit. There's a cold kit. Shaiko gets Gio in the drop and the motion. Gunner, he's got it back up, but with that in his foot, he cannot plant immediately. The impact should have the impact. Half for Gunner's health. The rest is Shaiko and Bride. And now the final player is found. And it might have looked like BDS were on the back foot, but they had the last laugh by 2 different players to see if he can get a lead into an angle. The C4 does not quite catch the lead in, and we're finding ourselves once again in the last second push, the pop of the smoke. Kansan might utilize that, but it's Shaiko that takes care of Gunner inside construction. Renshiro's ready with open arms, but nobody seems to be hitting logistic hatch. This is going to turn into a drive right through into Jim, with EFAC getting one more on the back. Oh no, it is the hatch, and it is the kit going cold on the top floor. They cannot get that in time and get the plant down. They've got to try and push for kills. Rexon gets 2, Grixer with 1. Suddenly it's a 2 versus 1. Grixer, he's got to try and find the 2 remaining players. They're on either side. There's the first. Can he make the sprint? The pistol pops. Bride, he's out of there.
These players, and the impact EMP is coming through, instantly followed up by a grenade to clear out any piece of utility out there. Lems gets injured, and that is going to be an opportunity for Soniqs to move in now, but Shaiko looking to retake that ground.
They just slip on by, but there's 2 other players that want to find a route through, and Shaiko gets 1. He's trying to find 1 more, pockets it, and there's Bride putting Rexon in a pocket. It's Shaiko! Finds his 3rd, leaves Grixer long alone in stock, but Liquefact's happy to send him on his way. 3 rounds in a row. He should be able to get that hatch, but as Rexon gets slightly revealed, he doesn't want to extend too far down. The second breach and break. We're looking at a big limitation in terms of time here once again for Soniqs. They're going to see if they can try and put pressure onto the pipes wall. They're going for the drop aggressively in. Grix around onto the back line, buy themselves some space, and Shaiko buys 1 more body onto blue. There's Shaiko with 1 more. Can he get the 3rd? He can! Shaiko, backed up by EFAC, gets it across the board. Kansan's in the sight, but Alems is there too. 4 rounds in a row. Might be able to be pulled apart, but not really by a frag grenade. We have all the flashes in the world, but you got to have the drive behind it. That's the risk. The swing round. Shaiko cannot win this firefight. Rexon finally ends the torture the Frenchman's been able to put against them. Grixer gets the 2nd. Soniqs, for the first time since Border, have the upper hand. They have what seems like a good lead in, and they have 30 seconds to try and turn it into the end. Gunner knows there's a play around on the back end, and Alems is able to take the fight and suddenly says, turn around, I'm behind you. Grixer gets Renshiro, though. They put the pressure on the side. It's 2 for Bride! He has the lockdown. There's the 3rd. 1 more with the pistol. There's the connection. A 1 versus 1. Kansan and Bride either side, but it's Bride!
Instantly
got this, the control of stage. As I said, this is how BDS are most used to suffering it, and they're suffering it a lot worse than they did before. Gio's gonna go for the plant. Pulls himself off as the ping comes through. Does Liquefact? No, it's being watched either side. There's one to the left, and Brede does get 2 for the trade out of 3 versus 2, but the kit needs to now be recollected and replanted. Alems, he's tucked onto the back end and the hot pings, but it's Liquefact on the back line. Inside stock, they're in a pain sandwich, and it's full of the French word for it. The spray on the back is Liquefact! Sitting pretty there on the top of red. There's the breach, but he is isolated, and he's going to see how many bodies he can try and take without this, potentially, though. Gunnar going very aggressive on the Sing. Shaiko goes down to Grixer. Grixer almost gets caught in response, but there it is. Gunnar gets that surprise strike, takes the drop. They thought they were
able to one-shot any given operator in the game. As Renshiro goes down by Grixer, they're unaware of the fact that he's located in that bar. Now they know that when LM's looking to hunt him down, but again, not going to be completely sure. Need to find the angle. Kenzen going aggressive up on the top floor as well. He might have been finding Brede there. He was on that drone. The phone call will definitely help trying to find the player.
Oh, no!
It's a triple kill for Grixer. Only leaving it up to Brede. Now he's rotating around.
Huge thing. They don't want to give him anything for this lock-in on this round. And now, with only about 20 seconds left, and still a C4, and still 4 guns to try and run through, it's a Grixer round. You're locked in, and you can see pockets and pockets full of ADSs and catches here. If it hits the disc first, it means that it might destroy either side. It's a jump out that is punished. Gunnar got on the back of EFAC, and there's one more on the stairs. Brede watching. Kansan and LMs suddenly find 1 extra either side. Gio, he's in a close fight, and he wins it out. Pixel perfect had to be. As I said, clutches aren't the most uncommon in this showdown, but now, in a brutal manner, they've been able to take control of Rafters. The next is theirs, Brede. Gio is all that is left here for Soniqs on this map. He's got to hold off the French tide that coincides with a drive right through onto the back of the server stack. There's hot pings on 1. He knows he's being watched. The flashes, they're either side. Brede, he's going to get the stick. Lems is pre-firing the angles. Gio, he goes for a smoke on it. It's too late to stop the plant. 45 seconds separates it. I don't know if we'll see it. We will not.
As Lems closes it out, and BDS, they find a bounce back. After a close loss on the first with a 7-5, they find themselves a 7-1 victory, showing that they're here to play, showing that they want to be making it to the finals. Seems like Default and Elevator are going to be the main entry point, as Flanks are setting themselves up as well. Smokes prepared by Lems, together with the fire potentially coming out from the crossbow there. They're going for the hot drop right into the vault.
There it is. Renshiro finds another one on the back line of Grixer. Gold starts to fall, and well, there's Gio picked up, and there's Renshiro for his 3rd. Gunnar gets lost out. And it's a flawless opener there. Slip away, closer to the hatch, ready for the spray through onto stock, hoping they can play this game I talked about on border. Grixer, do they know? That's the big question, and our survey says yes.
I was going to say, there must be a drone out there, as Rexon instantly replies, because otherwise BDS is going to be suffering into the same, well, flaws they had on that very first map. It's still a 3-on-3 though, 40 seconds left on the clock. Open area is not kind to these kind of hatch drops. Executes. I was going to say the RC Rotero placed in the middle of the rotation there might have had the opportunity to catch someone out if it wasn't quite properly made, but Lemsey finds himself now in an opportunity to either cut off any rotation back to the deep side, allowing the jump in to happen as Gio finds Renshiro.
There it is. Brede finds Gio right back and swings on the corner. Kansan, he's in a position now. Does he take the fight flat, or does he throw for the rotate? They're going to get the plant down on the far end. There seems to be an awareness. The hot pings on the high up, bubble on the far end. The spray doesn't quite connect, but it gives the game away. He's finding the first. The second move back to the break room. Brede.
He's up at the top floor as well. However, it is the open area that they do not have control over, as Rexon takes down Liquefact. It is the Ossa coming up close, and Lems just gets punished for it. Had no clue someone was behind the deployable shield of the defenders.
And I think this situation is pretty much impossible.
I mean, if I written it off as a Soniqs round about 10 seconds ago here, there is still a grenade kill to come through from Machiro. Hopes to find a second with a headshot as well, but Gio a bit quicker on the trigger there.
Utility out of the pockets here of the approach without anything else really on the trader for the cost. Okay.
Jump out.
They have the jump out, and Brede has the watch. I was about to say, okay, they still have the utility to take care of it. Now, Well, Soniqs have lost their ability to pretty much impact trick a single left. There's the reveal, and Likefac's able to get a strike. Suddenly the bells are ringing. And Soniqs is going to have to try and find a response, but Alems gets Geo, Grixer gets one, looks for the second. It's Alems that gets caught by Gunnar, but there's an instant response from Brede. Grixer buried in the chorus site, not for very long. BDS find their third. Concerned about the hole. Renshiro's in the site in the meantime, looking for a fight. It's going to be supported by Geo, but it pulls him out of position. So Shaiko might be able to get a response here. If anything, he has to. It's suddenly Shaiko and Alems, though. They bite back either side. The site becomes a little bit tumultuous because otherwise the rest of the hold is above. Apart from this, Gunnar, he's got the drop. He could rotate up if he wants to. He's maybe hoping to get a bit lucky and hope they drift into a position where he isn't checked. 30 seconds, BDS. What can you do?
They need to be quick here because the rotation is coming in from the square area. They have a Grixer will find Shaiko. Brede will live though with the diffuser, has the opportunity to make it towards the side. He needs to do so by save ground as well. But in the meantime, I believe we also have the rotation coming down from Gunnar.
That's it. Gunnar's gone round on the opposite side. Brede's going to see if he can stick it. It's about to come to his right. He's able to get the swing. Alems, a massive kill. The pings are on the player. He gets the next. Alems for 3 on the round. Kansan is all that separates it. Almost in a clutch before, looking for the back of it now. Pre-fires one angle. They seem to have the watch and the awareness on where he is. 30 seconds. He's going to try and strong arm his way through a very narrow rotation. It is dangerous. And they are not handing him anything. There's the first! And Alems gets 4. One on this side as well. They sort of leave 2 isolated Ben, and here's 2 Frenchmen to see if they can get a response. Efek, he suffers from the side and the swing of an impact, but there's no more of those. This fire is going to force nothing, but it is going to force this. Brede, he pushes on the fight. There's a lot of fire for them to clear through, and there's one on the other side of this as well. Are they going to see if they can cheekily dig around it? They are, but it still gets popped anyway. Rexon, he's like, slow down, and he's like, slow down. Shaiko gets caught out, and Efek, he's going to go for the rotate round. He's offering support elsewhere. The quick play in place and the timer. 3 smokes, they can cover the site. It's everything dropped. Efek, as I said, they're going to see if they can tuck in close, but Grixer's there just as close. It's over the top. Efek saved. The C4's in the wrong place. Brede, he's holding the door. Renshiro gets one. They get one right back. Efek, he's going to tuck in underneath. Again, the game of do they know it? No! Instantly bit back by Grixer. They have the vertical control. Kansan, he might go and for the retake. They've got to see if they can bury at least one of these 2 players, and it's a tricky one. Do you try and go for that player above? Do you try and go for the long arm, or do you find Renshiro? He's got one. Kansan cannot find the next. Back-end stair set. They're going to see if they can try and smoke some of this pressure, smoke out the mirror window, but Brede has long since practiced this angles. They're wasting time. And that's it, the deep dive right towards the same place the plant went on last time. Rexon gets the first. Alems has no idea the plant's going down. He's seeing if he can find the angle, but it's Grixer to get the next, and Gunnar, he gets it locked in. Shaiko's on the door. He doesn't know there's a player in the smoke right next to him. That's going to get revealed in a moment by that form. There's a close fight, and there's at least one more back in, but a post-plant. Renshiro with the shotgun, and Geo with the rotate round towards the hatch. They're pulling off. They know that they can keep the vertical. They know that they can keep this controlled, and if I talked about impossible situations, this is one of them. Soniqs, they had a lot of ground, and they made good use of it.
But he is still able to be picked up, just not really in a safe space. Geo will find the Alems, and that is an effective 2v5 situation now. Are Likefac's and Renshiro able to bring this back or hold on to it? It's seeming very unlikely here.
I mean, this is it. They're really struggling to sort of hold on to where the approach of Soniqs is coming from. They've gotten a little bit patient. The plant is going down. They've only got the reveal there, and there's the swing just in time. Grixer popped up on the window. Renshiro, look at where he's been the whole round. He's not really been able to have any impact on this approach, and he's got to have the biggest now. Finds the first, suffers the second. Can't quite get the full connection, and there is another Soniqs round.
For the traditional take, open up that wall, and after that try and see if they're able to dig in that plant closely to that wall. And as the smoke canisters are about to be coming out, or smoke bolts from Geo, that is definitely going to be the call.
The C4 goes, and it's baited and played early, but it hits the fire. Shaiko, he's watching through. He wants to try and swing onto this, and, well, Efek does the same. There's the drop inside the vault, the lockdown in 15 seconds. The man with the kits on the far end, and there's the pickup on the close vault here. Shaiko, he's waiting for a drop on the hatch. Renshiro gets dropped on the push. They're trying to find a way to put the kit down. The spray is Shaiko's. Now with a single coverage on the plant, does he know they're both inside? They know where he is, and it's got to be down to this. Efek artifact from above. He gets one. He just needs the read on the next. That'll give some of the game away. Grixer pulls himself back, takes care of the default. The ping is in their favor. The drone gets it back. A huge play! And we talk about the importance of verticality. Well, now we talk about the importance of perfection.
Is it going to be a drop-in? Are you going to be going through the window? Who knows? But 35 seconds are left. Your opportunities are running out.
Rexton, he just got the early taste of a player paying attention to a window, but the late drop might buy him a little bit more of a surprise strike. The calls come out and Gio on the backboard, but BDS, ever excellent, gets one more. They're looking for the fight and Shaiko goes down. Gio, he slipped his way in the sight and now he's the only one left. BDS, they broke it down and had to rebuild, but boy does it look good!
What a game from BDS. The first one must have been devastating. They struck back with a 7-1 victory, and they find Bank with a 7-3. They will go to the grand finals. They will play against LATAM to make sure that we stay in control of the majors.